Divine Will, Chapter 4. There is another pertinent point about the divine will which is most misunderstood, misconceived, and misquoted. To make this fine and sublime point more comprehensive, the example of electricity and its gadgets may be illustrative. Electricity is generated in a powerhouse and transmitted and distributed through different kinds of gadgets. The same electricity enlightens bulbs of different colors, shapes, sizes, and wattage. We know that electricity is the life and light of the bulb, and the filament is only an instrument for the manifestation of the invisible current, and the outer bulb is only a glass cover. It would sound so absurd on the part of the bulb to claim and boast that it is the master or giver of the light. That would tantamount to false and gross illusion of ego on the part of the bulb. Precisely, the divine life current working through us is the gift of God, and we are all different instruments for manifestation and working of His cosmic drama and for the projection of His divine will. Although we human beings have been gifted with freedom of thought and action, yet we are under the overall canopy of His divine will and grace. So long as we think and act with the sense of I, me, and mine, we are living in ego consciousness and become subject to the karmic law. It is a blasphemy to project our egoistic thoughts and actions as God's will and try to absolve ourselves of our egoistic omissions and sins. All our thoughts and actions, motivated and projected with the expressions of I, me, and mine, belong to and should be relegated to the egoistic plane of the materialistic world. In fact, such egoistic thoughts and actions are opposite, contrary, out of tune, antithesis, disobedience, ignorance, misconception, and miscarriage of the divine will, and carry with them the seeds of karmic law with consequent suffering and degeneration of humanity. When our intuition or divine consciousness is awakened with concentration, meditation, devotion, inspiration, sad sangat, and grace of the Guru, our ignorance and illusion about I, me, and mine, egoistic conception, Maya, materialistic world, and karmas is removed and eliminated. Our soul is then enlightened and reborn in the divine consciousness. Thus, our soul comes face to face with divinity, and we enjoy inner experience of divine presence, divine will, divine bliss, divine love, and divine grace. In this exalted state of divine consciousness, we realize that we are only instruments of His divine will, and all our thoughts and actions are motivated, oriented, colored, projected, guided, directed, supervised, and governed by the infinite divine law, just as in the case of all other creatures of the cosmos, and thereby we become free from the consequences of our thoughts and deeds. Thus, we become free children of God and spontaneously acquire and enjoy our heritage of divine presence, divine peace, divine kindness, divine benevolence, divine magnificence, divine grace, and divine glory. It must be clearly understood that no amount of intellectual understanding, learning, research, discussions, excursions, theorizing, philosophizing, or profession of dogmatic religions, rites and rituals, austerities, offerings, dedication, renunciation, and sacrifices can be of any avail in the realization of divine consciousness, of the glory of God, and other divine attributes of the kingdom of God. Our intelligence, at best, take us to the outer courtyard of the divine realm, but not beyond that. The glory of divinity is so awe-striking, infatuating, bewitching, intoxicating, and enchanting that human intellectual senses get stunned and lost in the bliss and joy of the effulgent and all-engulfing grace and love of the divine presence.